point, I see a point that is more personally related to my own observation, which is a point of my self-definition of a feeling that I have to first explain that my mother tongue is not English, and I'm from China. I've been here U.S. for about 3 years. I kind of still felt like I'm a foreigner. This point is also influencing like my communication with people, not merely with male, also with females. So whenever I was like being in a group like talking with people, especially whose mother tongue are English, I kind of felt like I'm a foreigner. So like those people, I was like creating this idea. Okay, this is me, that is them. So I was kind of like withdrawing myself from like interaction and communication.
So I was assuming that was normal for whatever you are. I was like, oh, he's like really reserved and quiet, but he's probably Chinese or something. That's probably just what they're like.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I see that is also how people around me also support my own self-definition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool to realize this point, and and I also noticed that I kind of feel more vulnerable, relatively more vulnerable to like females, talking to females. Previously I was kind of in a suppression mode, having some questions to ask, but I kind of resisted and feared to ask questions. So then I opened it up to and asked a question to Marlon, and we had a little discussion there. So it's kind of more, maybe it's another just a belief or idea that females are more vulnerable. So I think it's still a kind of definition of male ego involved in here. So that's
it's fascinating because like really, and I don't know that this is the case for you, Wei-Wu, but like placing myself within that like situation, like if I'm having my own point of I don't believe I'm communicating effectively, or if I'm in self-doubt over like my language, like that does influence how I communicate, because it's not like you cannot have a strong understanding of a language and have a really thick accent and maybe you don't even know the words, but one's communication, a lot of it is physical, a lot of it is body language, is your own comfort with yourself, like influences that.
Sometimes maybe it's I noticed that I can actually communicate fluently, not that difficult that I thought about myself if I am able to open up, but it's like from past influences where I just created this idea about myself, not being able to communicate effectively, and then that was still kind of influencing me from my past experiences. I think also this point of language and vocabulary, you mentioned that it's more of points of physical interaction, but I still think that vocabulary is also a crucial point within my process. And I noticed that the limitation within vocabulary is also able to limit one's expression. You don't have those words to express.
Did you guys see a judgment point about the equality vocabulary? Did that come out so far while I was gone? We should go into that. It's kind of important.
I
mean, maybe just for me, but like, I really fucked myself.
Okay, cool. That's next on the block.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, like you were saying, how you have much more of an open communication with Marlon or with females. I find that it's the same thing with me, where I allow myself to be more vulnerable around women. And I hide myself around males. Because I mean, even speaking with my female friends, I'll be more emotional, like all that I'll share my feelings and I'll share my experiences and everything. Where with my male friends, it's more just talking about bullshit, really. I don't know if you've experienced that as well.
Yeah.
I have. I was too scared, but I wanted to go in and hang out with the females.
Yeah.
I thought it was like some girls only thing. I didn't.
Yeah.
Think
I
it,
thought it was too.
I didn't
Yeah.
think it just happened randomly, or not like randomly, but I didn't think it just kind of like the sand sifted to the bottom of the sea. I thought it was like structured that way, and they're like, oh, you know, you're not allowed.
Uh huh. Yeah.
No, and also, you know, those girls are talking, you know, they are gathering together, and when I was, you know, felt alone there, listening to their conversations, and so I had some questions that I want to ask or participate in, but I still, you know, see, those are girl conversations, and I'm
Yeah.
guys, I'm
Yeah.
not participating in that.
Yeah. Like-
It's still those designs, you know, how we allowed to influence our interaction and communication with people.
Yeah. Ben, did you want to open up that point more?
Vocabulary.
Quality.
Or the yeah.
Yeah, okay, so vocabulary, yes, it's like very important because from my perspective it seems like weird and uncomfortable, and so I'll like avoid it and be like, oh well, I'm not okay doing that because, you know, just kind of like this notion that it'll make me look a certain way, which is, of course, developed growing up.
Is it like
years.
fear of a lack of vocabulary?
Oh, no. It's just, I see that, like, because, okay, so, you know, you start the Destiny fucking stuff, and it's gonna come across as kind of, like, new, and it's not something you're gonna have heard before.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, even though it made perfect sense, what they're saying, I don't want to have to establish myself like that because in my home environment, my father and my guy friends are gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Equality, all this soft stuff and shit like that. I mean, perspective. So I avoided it, and that's like really been a gigantic limitation that's inhibited me to communicate with other guys. And like that's why, like, you guys are all talking about, oh, you know, we realize this and this and this. If you guys hadn't brought the point out, I probably would not have questioned it at all because I really fucking believe that all the problem was just me and my fucking inferiority and my inability to. But what's cool is that is like, this is showing how it's fucking.
It's a pattern we all
through
have.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I experienced the same thing where I thought it was just me, that I'm creating my reality, so like...
Yeah, everybody's like in a bubble, you know.
Yeah.
Little bubble.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, my take on this is, it is all me. Like, I am creating everything that I'm experiencing. Now, even if all these other guys are going through their own point of male ego or their own resistances, I am still responsible for my own point. And if I allow myself to not stop it and then judge others, like if I were to continue judging these guys, because I did judge them, if I continue to judge these other guys for not speaking up, it's really me judging myself for not speaking up and not being self-honest with it and projecting it onto these other guys. Like, oh, why aren't they taking responsibility? Obviously, they're in their own points, without taking it back to me. So...
Well, the just me point was that what I was saying is that I'm thinking that it's just me in the sense that I'm the only one experiencing
Right, the only
this,
one with
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we close up and then we don't talk to each other, and then we are supporting that kind of idea, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just through our fear. Because, many times last night where you were sitting there quite quiet, I wanted to get you to open up, but again, there's like that fear of...
Yeah.
you tried to do that?
I didn't try at all because there was fear.
Yeah.
Did it very well with me. It was very effective.
Cool.